Welcome to Easy BTech, your guide for BTech and beyond. In the today's topic, we will discuss regarding the hybrid parameters. Okay, students. Hybrid. Before going to hybrid parameters, we will discuss what is a two-port network. Two-port network. Okay, it has two ports. It has two ports. One is an input port. Second one is output port. Okay, it has two ports. One is an input port and second one is an output port. Okay. Next, if you draw a two-port network, this is a two-port network. It is an input port. It is an output port. Input current is I1. Input voltage is V1. Output current is I2. Output voltage is V2. Okay. I1 is the input current. V1 is the input voltage. I2 is the output current. V2 is the output voltage. Next, two-port parameters. Two-port parameters are classified as number one, Z parameters. Second, Y parameters. H parameters. ABCD parameters. S parameters. These are the two-port network parameters. Z parameters means impedance parameters. Y parameters means admittance. H means hybrid. These ABCD parameters useful for the transmission lines. S parameters, scattering parameters. Okay, these are useful for the electrical circuits, electrical networks. Hybrid parameter useful for the BJT analysis. Transistor analysis purpose we may use hybrid parameters. This ABCD parameter for the transmission lines. Transmission line equation. Scattering parameters for microwave frequencies, incident and reflection, incident and reflection coefficient, incident and reflection coefficient calculation purpose we may use this S parameters. Next, we will discuss wholly what is hybrid parameters. Okay, Hybrid parameters are used for the calculation of voltage and current in the BJT circuits. Okay. Hybrid parameters are used for transistor analysis. Finding gain of the gain, either voltage gain, current gain, input impedance, output admittance. Next, hybrid parameters. Hybrid parameters are real. Hybrid parameters are real for the real for the microwave frequency, that is radio frequencies or up to radio frequencies. Next, hybrid parameters are easy to measure the circuit analysis. Next, H parameters are used to convert from one configuration to other configuration. Hybrid parameters are used to convert from one configuration to other configuration. Next, hybrid parameters are used for real and irrational numbers. Next, hybrid parameters are derived. Hybrid parameters are derived from the input and output characteristics of the BJT configurations. Okay, hybrid parameters are derived from input and output characteristics of the BJT configurations. Okay, next H parameter equations. We will see V1 is equal to V1 is a function of I1 comma V2. I2 is a function of I1 comma V2. Now here this you can see from here V1 and I2 are the dependent variables. I1 and V2 are the independent variables. V1 and I2 are the dependent variables, I1 and V2 are the independent variables. We will write these H parameter equations, H parameter equations, that is V1 is a function of H11 I1 plus H12 V2. I2 is a function of H21 I1 plus H22 V2. This is an equation 1, it is an equation 2. These are H parameter equations. V1 is equal to function of H11 I1 plus H12 V2. I2 is a function of H21 I1 plus H22 V2. I2, I1 V2, V1, I1 V2. We are writing this equation. Now from equation 1 and 2, from equation 1 and 2, you can write V1 is equal to H11 I1 plus H12 V2. Now you can say I2 is equal to H21 I1 plus H22 V2. Now to find H11, now V2 is 0, output is short circuit. Output is short circuit. When output is short circuit voltage is 0. When V2 is 0, we will write V1 is equal to H11 I1 from the equation 1. From this we can obtain H11 is equal to V1 by I1. Okay, V1 by I1. Input voltage, purpose input current. Then it is called as a resistor. In AC supply, resistor is known as impedance. That is why H11 is represented as input impedance. Input impedance or input resistance. Input resistance. Input impedance or input resistance. That is why we will write H11 is equal to Hi, input impedance, that is change in V1 by change in I1 by keeping V2 is equal to 0. H11 is equal to, that is HIE. H11 is nothing but HI, that is input impedance or input resistance, change in V1 by change in I1 by V2 0. Okay. In the second equation, by keeping V2 0, from equation 2, that is I2 is equal to H21 I1 plus H22 V2, V2 making 0. Then we will write this equation as H21 is equal to I2 by I1, that is output current by input current. Output current by input current. Now we will call this as an gain. H21 is nothing but, HF is nothing but forward transfer gain. Forward transfer gain, that is change in I2 by change in I1 by keeping V2 is equal to 0. Forward transfer gain, H21, HF, change in I2 by change in I1 by V2. Next, from equation 1 and 2, by making input is open circuit. Input is open circuit. Open circuit current is 0. Open circuit current is 0. Open circuit current is 0 means open input current. Open circuit. Input is open circuit. Open circuit current is 0. That is input is 0. Input is I1. I1 0. By substituting the I1 0 in these equations, we don't have H11 and H21. We have only these terms. Then we will write V1 is equal to H21 V2. From this, H21 is equal to V1 by V2. This we will write as an HR, means reverse transfer gain. That we will write as an H21 is equal to HR is equal to change in V1 by change in V2 at I2 is equal to at I1 is equal to 0. At I1 is equal to 0. This is known as reverse transfer gain. Next, from those equations, I2 is equal to H22 V2. H22 is equal to I2 by V2. Current by voltage means 1 by impedance or 1 by resistor. Then we will call H0 is H22 is equal to change in I2 by change in V2 as output admittance. Okay, students. Okay, from these parameters, what we have? H11 is equal to Hi, H12 is equal to HR, H22 is equal to H0, H21 is equal to HF. This is Hi is nothing but input impedance. This is reverse voltage gain, reverse transfer voltage gain. H0 output admittance. HF forward transfer current gain. This Hi is nothing but V1 by I1. V1 by I1, it resists ohms. Unit is ohms. Next, this is voltage by voltage. HR is equal to V1 by V2. Ratio less. No dimensions, no ratio. Here also I2 by V2. This we will call as a reverse. This HF is I2 by I1. No ratio less. Okay. For the configurations basis we may change. For different configurations, this HI will HI, HR, H0, HF will be changes. Okay, students, in this lecture we have studied regarding the H parameters, how the H parameters are there. Okay, in the next class we will study how the H parameters are derived from the input-output characteristics and what are the different types of input-output characteristics, that is common base, common emitter, common collector. How the H parameters vary for the different parameters. Okay, students, is a BTech guide for BTech and beyond. Thank you.